Why are there 7 days in a week? The Babylonian month was based on the lunar cycle. They observed that it takes 7 days to complete each of the 4 moon cycles: full, waning half, new, and waxing half. This is congruent with the 7 heavenly bodies which the Babylonians considered significant: the sun, the moon, and the planets Venus, Mars, Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter. The days of the week were related to the planets that the Babylonians were able to see in the night sky as the Earth completed its annual rotation around the sun. Who named the days of the week? The Romans had observed the same 7 celestial bodies as the Babylonians, and they decided to name the days of the week after the gods and goddesses associated with them. The Romans provided the Latin basis for the name of each day. The names of the days as we now know them have been influenced by various Anglo-Saxon cultures, including Danish and German. The way that the names of the days of the week are now pronounced in English has been largely based on the Germanic or Anglo-Saxon pronunciations. Monday was named after the moon, and in Anglo-Saxon the moon is called Mona. Monandeg translates to Moon's Day. We now pronounce Monandeg as Monday. Mars was the Roman god of war. The Anglo-Saxon equivalent of Mars is Tew. Therefore, Martis became Tuesdag and is now pronounced as Tuesday. Wednesday was named for the Roman god Mercury, the messenger of the gods. The Anglo-Saxon semi-equivalent was Woden, the god who served as a guide to the dead. Woden'sdag eventually became Wednesday. Jupiter is the Roman god of the sky and thunder. Thor is the Anglo-Saxon equivalent, so Thursday was originally called Thunresdag. For centuries, the Romans used 8 days in civil practice, but in 321 CE Emperor Constantine established the 7-day week in the Roman calendar and designated Sunday as the first day of the week. But that was a week. No mention of weekends. It took the Industrial Revolution, faith, and workers' rights to make those happen. In 19th century Britain, Sundays were a holy day, and nobody was expected to work. This was a noble concept for anyone who spent their free time pursuing spiritual matters, but those who took advantage of an opportunity to kick their heels up and live the high life for 24 hours, found being perky for work on Monday mornings a bit of a problem. Not turning up for work on a Monday became a tradition for some workers. Thus, the concept of keeping Saint Monday came to be. There was nothing remotely religious about it, although there must have been many a soul waking up with a sore head at the supposed start of the working week who gave thanks for it. Productivity suffered as a result of Saint Monday, to the extent that factory owners decided to make Saturday a half-day instead. This would ensure workers arrived on Mondays with clear heads and increased enthusiasm. It seemed to work, so 3/4 of the weekend as we know it was born. Sunday is a holy day for Christians, but this traditional day off didn't acknowledge the many Jewish workers in factories for whom Saturday was the Shabbat, or Sabbath. The first change regarding the Jewish day of rest happened in America in 1908. A mill in New England allowed a 2-day weekend so that its Jewish staff could observe the Sabbath. This was a hit with workers and led other industries nearby to introduce a 5-day week too. Henry Ford, the legendary car maker, made Saturday and Sunday days off for his staff as early as 1926, and he was also keen to set down a 40-hour working week. This move also allowed his workers to spend their downtime buying consumer products, keeping cash circulating through the economy. The USA officially adopted the 5-day system in 1932, in a bid to counter the unemployment caused by the Great Depression. At around the same time, something similar was happening on the other side of the Atlantic. In 1933, John Boot, chairman of the Boots Corporation, faced a working environment where it was not uncommon for workers to be made redundant, something he was keen to put an end to. A factory opened in Nottingham that same year which was intended to increase efficiency. It did, in that it produced so much stock there was a surplus, putting people's jobs at risk. The solution was to close the factory on Saturdays and Sundays, but keep the same number of workers on the same pay. The reduced hours meant there was less chance of a surplus, and Mr. Boot had a workforce that showed up ready and invigorated on Monday mornings, after having more time for leisure and family activities. The study showed that 2 days off each week reduced absenteeism and had a positive effect on productivity. The weekend was therefore made official policy in 1934. Could the weekend be longer? Ever since the 1960s, there has been talk of the weekend being extended to make it almost as long as the working week. 3 or 4 day weeks have been a dream for many who believe advances in technology make it possible for people to complete their required work in a shorter time. So, next time you enjoy your weekend, thank the Babylonians. They turned cosmic observations into the week we know today. Who knew ancient stargazing could shape our modern life? Subscribe for more bite-sized history facts.